Hola, magical friends! Today I want to talk all about my favorite character in Fantastic Beasts, Queenie. What happened to Queenie? Now, honestly, I'm still a little timid about even putting this theory out there because even as I was writing it, I wasn't sure. I kept on going back and questioning things because she seems all over the place. But I think I'm kind of on the right track, and I'd love to hear what you think down below about what happened to her. But if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We'd love to have you as part of this wonderful magical group that focuses on making life magical. I said magical 500 times, but it's really magical here. So Queenie has been one of the most frustrating characters to me out of anybody else in this series. I was so confused by her. And I think because she was one of my favorite characters from the previous film, I was looking forward to her in the second film and was so thrown off by all of her actions from beginning to end. In the first few scenes, we find out that Queenie put Jacob under a love spell, which explained why in the very beginning I felt so weird. I was watching the film thinking, oh, what's going on? They're so weird. And then that happened. I was like, okay, that's why they were being weird. And then I still felt, no, wait, they're still being weird. There seemed to be a lot of history that we didn't have between Queenie and Jacob. Queenie calls Jacob a coward, and Jacob calls Queenie crazy in her mind. But why is Jacob a coward? There's so much I want to know. So again, I don't know everything, but here is what I think happened to Queenie. I believe her coming to London was actually at the encouragement of Dumbledore or his group of alchemists who were technically all over the world. I think that Dumbledore knew Newt would need an extra push out the England door because of the travel bans and everything. So he had Queenie come up with this tabloid article version of Tina thinks that Newt's engaged and Newt's not engaged. She was then to leave a clue as to where she was going, and then they would all reunite in Paris to search for Credence. Because that was the ultimate goal, to save Credence from coming in contact with Grindelwald. I have an idea that there was more to it than that, but I'll get to Dumbledore in a future video. Because Queenie was so all over the place emotionally, I had to try to imagine what would take a person from being completely angry at the love of their life to emotionless in an elevator to lost and desperate crying on a street side. It's like, she's so emotionally all over the place. It reminds me of my pregnancy. Oh yeah, Queenie's pregnant, and I think that Jacob doesn't know about it. That would explain why Queenie goes to such great lengths to make things happen in her favor and go from calling Jacob a coward in one scene to crying for him in the next. She loves him, but not only that, she is pregnant with a child of a wizard muggle cross. And especially in the United States, that's not a good thing at all. It also creates a lot of uncertainty for her because, well, as far as us, the audience, we don't know what the laws are like in the United States. And if they're really cruel to those people, besides locking them up, if she was pregnant with a baby, what are they going to do with that baby? I don't know, but I don't think it's going to be very good. Out of all the outcomes that Queenie could have imagined, what she didn't foresee was running into Grindelwald himself. I know a lot of us were probably asking, is there potion in that tea? And I personally believe, yes, there is potion in that tea. Do you remember the first year of Harry Potter where Snape says, I can teach you to bewitch the mind and ensnare the senses? Well, potions we have only really had a small taste of from the Harry Potter books. The ones we have read about are quite remarkable and frankly something not very many people are expert at, judging from the fact that the Half-Blood Prince made so many revisions to his book that's still being used at Hogwarts today. Oh, those poor students. Grindelwald seems like the type that would master anything that he could to work in his favor, and potions really honestly wouldn't surprise me at all. The thing that was curious is the interaction between Queenie and Grindelwald when she first sees him. She's holding up her wand and she says to him, "Stop right there. I know what you are." And And the phrase, "what you are," has really stood out to me. Since this is Jo's world, I'm really hoping that there's another reveal yet to happen on the Horcrux level as to what is it about Grindelwald that makes him what he is. Again, he's dabbled in the dark arts. He knows a lot of things that probably most people would never do because he's experimented with it from the time he was a little boy. So I'm really curious as to what he's done to himself besides the blood pact. But for now, he's drugged my Queenie, and I'm really mad about it. The final scene was the biggest clue to me as to why I believe that potions were in play, because you have the contrast from the very beginning of the movie with the end of the movie being that Jacob was under the influence of a potion at the beginning of the movie. So I'd say out of anyone, he would understand what it feels like to be under the power of a potion. He says things to Queenie like, "You gotta wake up," which is probably what it feels like to be under the power of the love potion that he was in. I personally believe that Jacob realizes that something's off with Queenie, and so he intentionally uses, and my husband said this when we got out of the theater, and I was like, yes, that's the word that I was looking for. He uses the trigger word. He didn't say it at the beginning of the movie. He said it in his mind, and it triggered Queenie to get angry and leave. Well, this time he just wanted some type of reaction, so he said it out loud. Almost, if you notice, the way he said it was almost like not wanting to say it, but he said it, "You're crazy." And what does she do? Nothing. Like, it's almost emotionless. She doesn't even seem put off. She just turns around and walks through the fire. The final scene where those who choose to walk through the fire was really interesting. And I think it was very intentionally done that way. We see that those who are loyal to Grindelwald or have nothing to lose walk easily through the fire. And those who aren't completely loyal don't quite make it, like Crawl, right? Poor guy. Queenie's experience was obviously unique because she felt pain going through the fire, but she made it through. Something that I noticed when she walked through was that she reached down. And that's something that when I was pregnant, I would always be reaching down just to make sure that I was still feeling that baby alive. And I just can't help but wonder that if, just like Lily Potter sacrificed herself, I wonder if we saw another level. Oh, I just love thinking about this. If we haven't just experienced another way that love can overpower dark magic. Wouldn't that be so cool? The final thing that I want to mention about Queenie was her wand, because obviously I've been thinking about this way too much. She's my favorite character. But somebody mentioned that when they saw Queenie's wand in person, they were really surprised by how translucent it was. And I was watching interviews with lots of different people for the Fantastic Beasts film, and one of them said that it was intentionally made to be the mother of pearl. And I think that all of the wands have very specific reasons that they chose the wizards that they did. So I wanted to learn a little bit more about mother of pearl. What is it? Mother of pearl is slightly iridescent and actually lines the outside of a clam to protect the contents that are inside. And it has like this really interesting, look that can change depending on where you're looking at it from. And so I just feel like that with Queenie, she is the type of person that we're meant to think that we have her figured out depending on where our viewpoints are coming from. But in reality, she's just got something that she's protecting, and we haven't found out quite yet what that is. My theory, of course, is that it's a baby, but it could be something else. It could be another secret. I'm not quite sure, but I still love Queenie a lot, and I'm still anxious to see what happened to her. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think that Queenie is under the influence of a potion? Do you think Queenie's pregnant? Do you think that this is completely crazy? Let me know down below. If you're new, please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Have a magical day, and we'll see you next time. So honestly, if you're still watching this, I'm not so sure about the Dumbledore idea, but I just couldn't. Okay, this is the reason why I couldn't get off of it, is because one, she's so emotionless in the elevator. Like, not just like sad or worried or I don't know what I'm doing, but it's like, almost like she knows what she's doing, but she doesn't have any emotion. I don't know how to explain that. And then when her case fell out, like opened up, there's something that rolls on the floor that you can't really see. I kind of wondered if it was a deluminator, but I don't know. I don't know, you guys. I don't know if that's really part of it or she just came to London on her own. Anyway. Okay, no, really, I'll see you guys next time. But tell me what you think. Tell me what you've been thinking.